today we are facing Batman, or aidynj120, and you can see by his setup that he's rocking the 2 fire type, 2 water type combination right here. Definitely quite intimidating. You know, like when I came into this battle, I wasn't sure how I should react to this. But you know, we have the typical setup right here. Alakazam, of course, as the Mega, and the rest of the Pokemon in support. Now, remember that this battle was recorded in the past, so this kind of just a commentation. So I'm gonna be a bit rusty, because I probably forgot exactly what happened here. So anyways, though, I am scared about that Blaziken right there. You know, could be his Mega, so he doesn't really have any other Pokemon that could be Mega Evolved. Although sometimes I don't know, because I mean, Mega Blaziken in Brick Bronze is actually pretty difficult to guess. You need a lot of BP for it, so sometimes people just don't have a Mega. But you know, this guy probably is running it. This does look like a PvP team. So, you know, I was looking to Lycanroc anyways. I was thinking he might try and set up his entry hazards. That's what most people running Lycanroc try to do. So, I decided to just go for a foul play right off the grid, in case he did anything else, and, you know, that was fine. So, he goes for a Stone Edge, and actually does really, really good damage. Partly because he has a life orb, and of course it's super effective damage, although Mandibuzz is really tanky, so I have to say I'm impressed by this Lycanroc right here. Although of course now, you know, we have to switch, and he probably is well aware of that. He knows that he can probably just set up another layer of start rocks, because there's no way I'm going to try staying in and, you know, going for another foul play, especially if he does choose to attack, because, you know, it's not worth losing Mandibuzz this early in the game. And, you know, I could always just like switch it in on a good matchup and then just get the HP back, and then Mandibuzz will be good to go. So, you know, obviously switching here is the optimal move, you know, without any other hesitation. So now I'm kind of figuring out how I want to go into. Partly I'm tempted to choose Sizer, but I mean, I know Sizer is not taking in the Stone Edge too well, so I decided to go into Moltank, because this is a really physically tanky Pokemon. He goes for a Fire Fang, so he probably was actually predicting the Sizer there, so why else would he go for that? So that was a good play right there, because, you know, I did not want to lose Sizer right there. I mean, this guy is kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. He's already making reads like that right off the bat. So, you know, he goes for a Protect, I guess to scout out and see what I'm trying to do, which is fine, because, you know, I went for the T-Wave, and now I know this guy's moveset too, which is great. He's used all 4 of his unique moves in all the turns you've had so far in this battle. So I decided to go for a Body Slam, in case he goes for a Start Rock, because, you know, I could just finish him off, you know, and it's gonna be nice to take care of that Lycanroc, so we don't have to deal with entry hazards later on in this battle, because, you know, entry hazards can actually get pretty dangerous. Although at the same time, patience is also really important. It's also fine to take some damage in if you're playing safe, because you don't want to just be throwing out Mandibuzz. Like, sometimes I do that a lot, but I wouldn't say that's always the ultimate, you know, way to play this game. Like, it's not always going to be, you know, the best move. So anyways, he goes into Aegislash here, and this is actually excellent, because, you know, now I can get paralysis on him, and you know, we do have Scrappy on, or maybe this is the other ability, Take Fat. I actually don't remember what I'm running in this battle, but you know, with Scrappy I would be able to hit him. He can only hit me with his Sacred Sword, so I mean, that is actually going to be enough to one-shot my Moltank. But, you know, that's just, it's good to keep that in mind, so that when you switch out, you can switch out accordingly. So anyways, I decided to bring out a Sizer here. It's not really particularly a great move, but, you know, I figured that if we didn't go for Sacred Sword, it would pay off. And, you know, of course, he doesn't have Sacred Sword. He has Iron Head instead, which is actually probably an equally viable move, because, you know, it's a stab type attack, so, you know, you can't go wrong with that. But here in this situation, it did turn out to be pretty nice, because Sizer could come into that pretty well. So I mean, now I decided to switch it to Mandibuzz. Partly I went into Sizer because I was thinking he was gonna go for another Swords Dance. So I was thinking, well, the only thing he can do now that he's paralyzed is the what do you call it, the Shadow Sneak, or that's probably what he's gonna do unless he wants to take in a big hit. So, you know, I was thinking, you know, if he goes for something else, then I would probably switch out. So I know he's gonna go for the Shadow Sneak on Sizer, so I figured that Mandibuzz would be able to come in now for free, and in fact it does. So, you know, I decided to just go for the foul play, just to take care of the Aegislash, because I don't want to deal with that later on, and that's a done deal now. So now he goes into his Blaziken, and I look around and think about it. I decide that this is probably time to sacrifice the Mandibuzz, because I mean, nobody really wants to come in on this guy. I mean, the fire fighting stab combination is crazy. I mean, this thing also hits really hard, so you know it's not fun. I mean, I could go to Alakazam, but you know, Alakazam is too frail to really take in a hit too well. And with this guy's speed boost ability, you know, he's just going to be able to outspeed me in a couple of turns, so it's not even worth it. So anyways, here he goes for Protect, which really costs him. I mean, you shouldn't just go for the Flare Blitz. I don't know what he was thinking with that one, like, you know what I'm saying? Because now I got my Mandibuzz back to full HP, and if he just went for a Flare Blitz or even probably a close combat or high jump kick, he probably couldn't have taken care of it. But you know, that's his choice. I mean, like, I know why people run Protect on Blaziken, so you can get the speed boost, but you gotta be smart about how you use it, because, you know, like, right here, now, if he just taken care of me right there, Mandibuzz would have gone down, but because, you know, he didn't, I'm able to survive his hits and hit him back really hard. And, like, with Blaziken, you can't heal yourself, so you want to be as careful as you can with it. Like, you know, that HP right there is really important, so, I mean, getting a hit like that is gonna be really nice, because now, you know, something like Sizer can come in and bullet punch, or, you know, if your opponent has priority, then they can finish you off. I mean, it won't happen all the time, because this Blaziken is going to resist the bullet punch, but, you know, like, if I had, like, any other priority, like Aqua Jet or something, you know, it'd be good. So, anyways, he decides to switch out and go into Talonflame, and, you know, that's perfectly fine, because he's going to take that foul play really, really badly. Now, of course, you know, I always have the worst luck with burns. It just happens to be every time I attack a Pokemon with a flame body, I get the burn. It's kind of annoying, but it's not, you know, even that bad, because with foul play, I'm not using my own attack stats, so, you know, it's not going to be a huge issue. So anyways, here I decided to go into Heatran, because I know that Heatran basically will wall Talonflame in all circumstances, because, I mean, this Heatran right here has the Fire Steel typing. I mean, he can't hit me with his fire moves, and he won't do any damage with his flying type moves, and Talonflame doesn't really get any fighting moves that I know of that, you know, would be really viable. So, you know, it's a free switch, and I know he's gonna switch out. There's no way he's gonna stay in, so I decided to just go for the Stop Rock, so that next time he tries to bring in the Talonflame, it's gonna take big damage. And the Blaziken too, at that, it does have a neutrality to Stop Rocks, but, you know, getting damage in it is gonna be nice, because then something like Sizer can come in and finish him off. And that's always going to be really sweet if you can get that to happen. So now I go into a Moongus on this guy's Greninja, because, I mean, I need to scout to see if this is Protean. The good thing is it isn't, so he's not going to be hitting too hard with his Ice Beam here. And this basically does come in as a check. Although, I mean, this guy does also prove to have some good competitive capabilities, because he predicts a Spore. So either he probably has faced off against the Moongus before, or maybe he just knows what it does. See, he was able to predict that I was going to go for the Spore. So I have to say, very impressive in some plays, although some plays are a bit questionable. So anyways, here I go for the Giga Drain and take care of his substitute. Now the good thing is, because the Ice Beam is not stab, it doesn't do that much damage to the Amoonguss. Although, I mean, I can imagine that if it was, this would have been a big problem. So anyways, here he goes for another Ice Beam. I mean, I just go right for the Giga Drains. I don't really suffer too many repercussions here from hitting this right here. So I'm going to get a lot of HP back. It's going to do huge damage. In fact, it's enough to one-shot the Greninja, and, you know, that Greninja is not gone. And, you know, I get some good HP back, so now that when I switch out, you know, I'll basically be able to get this Amoonguss back in good HP. Although now he brings out the Blaziken again, and I'm kind of thinking, you know, at this point, there is no reason to really switch out here, because, I mean, I can, but, like, I don't really need a Moongus anymore. It's not going to be that useful. I mean, I guess other than the Rotom, so, I mean, partly I'm tempted to just to stay in and attack. I decided to go to the Spore, and he goes for a Blaze Kick. Unfortunately for him, he misses. That's kind of unfortunate, but, you know, it's fine, because, you know, now the Blaziken is asleep, and I'm gonna have at least 2 turns, or at least 1 free turn to attack him, and potentially 2. But I mean, I didn't even need that, because Sludge Bomb did enough damage to finish off the Blaziken. Now he goes into his Talonflame. And, I mean, I'm not thinking. I mean, I could switch out into Heatran, because, I mean, Heatran can actually come in on this guy. Unlike with the fire fighting stab combination of Blaziken, where, I mean, nothing can really come in too easily. And that's one flaw with this specific team. But, you know, it is what it is. It's something I have to work around. So, anyways, he goes for his Aerial Ace. It does pitiful damage. And I hit him with a Magma Storm, which does huge damage right there. That is actually insane. And with the chip damage, it's going to be enough to take care of the Talonflame. An unfortunate crit, but it probably would have not mattered anyways, because, you know, I just finished him in the next turn, and, you know, he's not going to do any damage to me, so, you know, it's not a big problem. So now he pulls out the Rotom, and I mean, I could stay in because, you know, there is no need for Heatran anymore in this battle. It's done what it needed to do. But, you know, your man wants the clean sheet, so I decided to switch out into the Amoonguss here. And I mean, I wanted to make sure I kept all 6 Pokemon alive, so, you know, there's that slight satisfaction in that. So you know, I mean, I decided to just go for the Giga Drain. There is no need to extend this and go for the Spore. It's not really gonna matter that much. So he goes for a Hex here. No, that's sad damage right there. With Rotom Wash, I would not recommend Hex. You're just better off running the stab combinations and then utility. That's just what it's really good at. But, you know, I mean, I guess you can if you want some extra coverage. And I mean, now I decide to hit him with the Clear Smog. I mean, really, that could have actually been a bad play if he had Pain Split, but I mean the Sludge Bomb. But in this situation, it turned out good. So that right there is GG.